Hey everyone, Steve Pakradooni here, your state Senate candidate for LD4 with another Sunday with Steve. So I started this, I said we were to talk about what happened during the campaign week and what's coming up. So I'll continue. I'm actually driving right now, phone's in the holder, just keep my eyes on the road, so I apologize for not looking directly into the camera and speaking to you directly. But the day is getting away from me and I wanted to get the video taken and get it out there. So I'll talk about today. So actually coming home from North Jersey, I had a friend, a very good friend of mine in from Florida. He came in for a certain event and he wanted to introduce me to a few political people and some possible donors. Money for the campaign is always helpful. I have stressed several times though, money is great for a campaign. It helps pay for mailers and flyers and events and Facebook posts, posting, and all kinds of stuff. But it's not the most important thing. Votes are the most important thing. So I've always asked people for their votes more than they ask for their money. I will put a link up soon for to make a donation. If you'd like to make a donation to our campaign to help us along with some funding that we do need, there are certain things that you do have to pay for: the campaign signs, literature, some campaign staff, some paid help to deliver some of that literature, things like that. But let me get back to the subject. So we also went out to Staten Island for a very nice lunch with some other political advisor that I had to meet and another possible donor too. So that was the campaign day today. Yesterday, if everyone caught my Facebook Live video, we were out walking Gloucester Township, meeting with voters and talking to a lot of moms and dads with kids in school, and they were talking about the critical race theory. They were very, very upset about that, and they just didn't like the curriculum. I can't say that word correctly. I apologize. They just didn't like what the kids were being taught in school. They don't want their children to be called racist just because the color of their skin or how they were born, and they just were not happy with it at all. It didn't make sense to them. They said the children don't know the difference to all their friends. They don't care what color they are, what gender they are, or anything like that, their backgrounds, where they came from. They just want to go to school, learn something, maybe have some fun, meet friends, and just be normal kids growing up. And they were very, very upset when they're being taught something that's really not exactly true. You know, sometimes there's extremes on things, and I've heard all different kinds of posts that they're being taught just because someone is white, they're inherently racist, they were born racist. So, I'm going to punch some holes in all this. So, in this country, we're a melting pot. We're a mixed bunch. We have the most mixed race, color, or nationality, or religion, marriages, all kinds of things. So, I always would say, well, what happens if you're half white and half black? Are you inherently half racist then? It just doesn't make sense. There's no common sense in any of this. No one is born racist just because of the color of their skin or where they came from. It doesn't happen. Are there racist people out there? Absolutely. Is that horrible? Of course it is. That's not the norm in this country. That's not it. When our brave soldiers went to war, for World War II to save the world from fascism and Hitler, they didn't say we're saving it for white people or we're saving it for black people. They just didn't care what colors those soldiers were. They were out there to protect actually the world and also, of course, United States of America. And the same thing too with our great military members today. They don't care what color people are. They're not saving, we're saving the white Americans or we're saving the Asian Americans. It doesn't go like that. They're protecting our country and all our citizens, no matter what race they are, what color of their skin, their gender, their religion, all these things. This stuff must end. It's nonsense. This country was not built on racism. That is untrue. It's exactly the opposite if you think about it. Of course, for some reason they call it progress, and they want to push this and apologize for what's happened in this country. Yes. Did this country have slaves? Of course it did. Was it horrible? Yes. Did we end it? Yes. We fought a war over it, actually. And many whites lost their life, along with the black soldiers, to free the slaves. That happened. That's true. So we ended slavery a long time in this country. We've come a long way. I just don't understand why are we going backwards with it. It doesn't make sense to me. And that was most of the parents. That was what they were upset about. They said, we seem to be going backwards. And I agree with them. And I said before, I am 100% against critical race theory. It's just not true. So in Trenton, I will scream at the top of my lungs. I will vote no on every bill. And Jack Ciattarelli for governor has said that under his administration, this will not be taught in New Jersey schools. I have to agree with him. It's just not right. It's not right. We have way more important things to talk about. We have to get our students educated correctly. We're falling behind as a country in what our students are learning. We're having problems with math. We're having problems with reading, just basic stuff. Let's teach history how it was. Yes, we should teach all about slavery. Horrible, horrible time in this country's history. We fixed it. We ended it. Let's teach that. Let's teach the correct way that happened. Civil war in this country tore the country apart, but we did mend. We came back together. That's what we have to be. We're unified. We're Americans. Doesn't make a difference what color your skin is. It really doesn't. So, anyway, I'm going to move on from that to talk about what's coming up next week. So we have a few things coming up with the campaign. We're putting new literature together. We're going to be talking about more social events, more meet and greets. We want to get out and talk to the people of LD4. That's what you guys want to send me to Trenton for, is to represent you. So I want to meet as many people as I possibly can in LD4. So what I'm asking is, if you'd like to do a meet and greet, if you'd like to have me, Steve Pakradooni, the state assembly candidate, or one of the assembly candidates come to the meet and greet, not talk to me, you can talk to our great assembly candidates also, and have them come to your home, maybe a coffee shop or something, get a few of your friends and neighbors together, and meet us. Everybody says, how can we get in touch with you, Steve? How can we do this? And, a lot of candidates point to websites and things like that, and that's great. But there's nothing like meeting the person that you want to send to Trenton to represent you in person. We haven't met a lot of the the state senators and the assembly members in any district in New Jersey. Now, here's a true story I'll tell you real quick. Is so I'm out delivering literature. I knocked on a door and got somebody to answer, and they said, "Oh, that's so nice. You're delivering, paperwork or literature for the candidate." I said, "Oh no, I'm this guy. I'm the guy on the card. I'm Steve Pakradooni." They went, "You're the actual candidate?" And I said, "Yes, that's me." They said, "Wow, I'm going to vote for you." And I didn't know if they were Democrat or Republican. I knock on every door. I'm going to vote for you because you were the first person I've seen in 25 years, the first politician. And I had to correct them. I said, "Well, I'm not a politician. I'm an auto mechanic." But anyway, they said, "You were the first politician that has knocked on my door in 25 years to introduce themselves." So I got their vote, and they didn't even really meet me, but they were impressed that I was willing to come out and speak to them, that I wanted to hear what they had to say. And that's what I do want to hear. I want to hear what the residents of LD4 have to say, what their concerns are, and how I can best represent them in Trenton. Remember, this is not what I want in Trenton. This is what you want in Trenton. We'll talk about the budget bill that passed. $46 billion. A 15% increase over the next 3 years for our budget. Not one New Jersey resident had enough time to read that before our representatives voted on it. It was put out one day, and then they voted on it the next. Every Democrat legislator or elected official in Trenton voted yes on it, and every Republican voted no. I'm not getting a 15% increase raise over the next 3 years. I don't know very many people that are getting that increase. Of course, our retirees are not getting that increase. So how is it possible that the $46 billion budget, which is a $46 billion burden on the taxpayers of New Jersey, how are we going to pay for that? They have to raise our taxes. So our taxes are going to go up, and it won't be in line with what our incomes are raising. So we, again, work hard, and we will take home less of the money that we earn, or keep less of the money that we earn, and we're going to send it to Trenton for foolish spending. I understand there's money. It takes money to run a state. There's 9 million people in the state. It's going to take money. I get that. I understand that. But maybe we should look at spending before we increase spending. Let's look at the spending and see where can we save some money. Why do we have to increase it 15%? Did anybody ever say, hey, maybe we can cut it 3 or 4%? Nope. Always increasing, without much scrutiny of that budget. I think it was presented to the State House, to the elected officials, I think 2 days before, so I don't even know how they could have read it and understood it, but they passed it. So that's a problem. That's what I want to fix. That's what I want to end. So anyway, I went a little longer than I'd like to. Again, I always do talk too much, and I apologize about that. But this is our Sunday with Steve. I apologize for not looking straight into the camera, but I am paying attention to driving. And we'll see you next week. Thank you.